Hello everyone and welcome back to Enigmatica 2 Expert Mode. This is episode 5 and I made a lot of progress off screen, off camera. So now I'm going to bring you in on it. As you can see, there's a lot of things missing, but there's this applied energistics panel. So also there are miniaturization fields and all kinds of fancy stuff going on up here. That was just a quest reward. I took a time lapse of me digging, and I filled in that digging right here. As you can see, I actually have a pretty good setup. I just didn't feel like recording, so I decided to I'd set it up by myself. So we have the ME controller with 4 medium storage crates on just storage buses. I keep wanting to call them external storage buses. So these are holding most of my items. I don't actually have any ME drives, I'm just using these. And this wall of, what are these? Compacting drawers with a storage bus onto a drawer controller. So that's most of my storage right there. And then I've automated the crystal growth chamber. I've put some acceleration cards in it. I also got Ender IO item conduits, and I made a Yeta wrench. Sadly, it's mixed up with the crescent hammer. Oh, whoops. So some things don't quite work. But I have this set up and automated. So basically, this one is silicon. So I have an insert basic item filter so that it can only insert silicon. And if you didn't know, the center slot is always the front, back, or the sides of an inscriber. The top is always the top, and the bottom is always the bottom, which is kind of helpful, kind of not, but I'm going to go with helpful for right now. And then, so all of these just have basic item filters with the item that gets pressed. Where is that baby zombie? Annoying. And then extract, even though it's always active, it will only pull out of this slot right here, and that's the same all the way down to here, where up here we have also this item filter isn't really necessary, but I wanted to have it anyway. So these are extracting on channel brown and inserting right here. They're only going to insert printed circuits, printed processors, whatever they're called. Then on the bottom, it's set to only insert silicon. Right here, it's set to only insert redstone. Then it pulls out on the blue channel and inserts into this interface, completing the craft. Then I have some similar thing over here, except I have the basic item filter on the extract. And this only pulls out fluix crystals, pure fluix crystals, and pure certus quartz crystals. Puts them in here. And then over here, you might be wondering what this is. Well, I didn't want to wait for crafting cables. So I just set up a tier 3 crafter to do all of the cable crafting for me, which actually saved me a lot of space on this molecular assembler over here. Also, I just have something simple, a crafting coprocessor and a 1K storage device. I can actually put these over here, like kind of keeping my stuff in rows. Then I have a dense smart cable running along here, and I've just started automating the macerator, because that is what I need most, is just crushed, I don't know why I looked in there, is just crushed nether quartz. I hear you. Crushed nether quartz and certus quartz and fluix crystals. And now these I don't really want to transfer over yet, just because. Also, I realized while I was mining, I spent all of that time thermal centrifuging nether quartz to get lithium dust, and I had lithium ore from nuclear craft. I just for some reason thought that it was disabled. And then over here I just have a distilled water maker. Nothing special. Solar distiller being fed from a sink by fluid conduits. Oops. Forgotten, I guess. So they're... And then they're just getting filled up with water, and during the day they produce distilled water at a very slow rate. You can make machines, but it's some kind of complicated setup that I don't want to learn. So this is just because normal water with lapis lazuli dust is just, it requires 8 lapis lazuli to make 1 bucket of IC2 coolant, but with distilled water you only need 1 bucket of IC2 coolant. And I'll take you through the process of making that right now. So you have to drain from a cell, and then you switch the tanks, put the cell here, and switch to fluid enrich, and then you have a cell of IC2 coolant. Now if you didn't put in a cell right here, it would just put the IC2 coolant over here. Then you'd have to switch tanks and fill cell from tank. And you might be wondering why we need IC2 coolant. Well, you need 3 buckets of IC2 coolant for every 2 overclockers, which, as you can see, I have a carpenter set up to make a few of those. You might be wondering why we need overclockers. We have tons of those, don't we? Well, no, I stole all of them and put them inside of the UU map production, which I don't think I've shown you. That's what this compact machine is. Actually, I think I will just right click. If you right click, you get this really cool schematic. So all of these weird fence posts are XNet. The green ones are XNet connectors and the brown ones are just cables. And then that fence post is the XNet storage or main hub or whatever. So basically, I have cloches up here making melons, and then that getting XNetted down to this crusher, where they're being brought from the crusher into the PRC, and an infinite water source here that is feeding the electrolytic separator, which is giving all of its hydrogen to the PRC. And then the PRC is getting all of the ethylene taken from it on a single channel. Actually, I'll show you that in here. All of the ethylene is getting taken out on a channel and being inserted into the gas burning generator, which is running these 3 machines and the cloches, and into this gas turbine. Now this only has 3 Manulan turbines right now, and I'm going to upgrade that in the future, but this is what's running the UU matter production. Now we have 6 recyclers here, half of which have 5 and half of which have 4 overclockers, and those are all feeding into this matter fabricator and keeping it pretty well stocked. And then we have our replicator over here. Thought I had a lot less than that. Apparently the scrap makes that much of a difference. Then we have our scanner over here and our pattern storage. The reason I did this is because I ran out of ultimate universal cables, so I just used hardened flux duct. And then over here there's only room for 1 more channel. Also, I am extracting power from here and outputting it onto the north side, and that's what's running my ME controller and crafter tier 3. This is the north side, so everything's coming out of here and charging it. Yeah. And then these are rooms that I've just started digging out for future use. I'm obviously going to have to move those. And then over here, as you saw earlier, was my compact machine setup. Now, compact machines are really cool, and I actually saved a craft to show you on camera. This is how you make tunnels. You take compact machine walls, but basically you surround it with redstone. This is making tunnels, by the way. No, not right there. Basically you have a hopper, compact machine walls, and redstone. Then you throw it into the field. Also, redstone only has one visible side, which is why it seems like there isn't any, but it's there. And then it just compresses that down into compact machine 3 tunnels, which are, this is just an empty one. I thought that I'd be able to use, well, really I could have, but I thought I was going to use that for this until I walked inside of it and was like, oh, this is small. So I made this one. It just needed a diamond block, and I have a lot of diamond blocks. So I'm going to figure out what we're doing today, and I'll be back with you in a minute. So I've decided that today is going to be automation. So I'm going to start off with 10 interfaces, I guess. 10 interfaces. It's supposed to be keep. But now we have, right now it is crafting logic processors, and I'll actually show you that down here. So it's putting in silicon right here, which is getting turned into printed silicon. You have your logic over here, and then they're getting inserted into this one, which has an acceleration card, because I don't like waiting. And then that's getting pumped into the ME interface, which is then putting it into the system. I'm thinking about putting a terminal down here. But I think one of the next things that I'll automate is actually the manufacturing, because one of the things you need a lot of is silicon. And silicon needs sand in a manufactory. Also, if you didn't know, on my keyboard next to the enter on the right hand side, there is that, and if you hold shift, it has an upright, and that is how you search multiple things in JEI and applied energistics and refined storage and etc. Now I wanted dense cables. Oh, wait, I can't do, because I don't have more than one crafter. Also, I set it up so that it would turn cotton into string into wool. I need to make a sheep farm. Bat. You can only craft one thing at a time, because I only have one crafting multi-block. Wow, one short. And I don't think that there's anywhere that I can, oh, dense covered cable. I'll put it over here. And now eventually these will all get changed to, you see, is a dense cable with smart cables running off of it with P2P tunnels into other dense cables. And we'll get into that later when we need to, but we don't right now, so I'm not going to. And pattern. This, for me, this is always the first thing that I automate, because it's the thing that you need to automate everything else. And I think that the next thing that I'll automate is the induction furnace. And now I know that these will all have to get shuffled about for it to work. And I'm okay with that. And then this interface terminal is really handy because you can look up, apparently you can't, but that's okay. Okay, looks like nuclear craft is not advanced AE2 friendly. So guess what? It is going to have to be piped around, which isn't a problem, not with Ender IO conduits. In fact, it's pretty easy if I have them on me. So Ender IO conduits, I'm probably just gonna stick a chest. I don't know. And break the interface. Put the chest right there and the interface below it. Oh well. This looks disgusting, but it works. And then I'm just going to rotate it so that it only tries to insert into this chest. As you can see, How do you make this? I'm so... Oh, there was recently a patch, so apparently... Are you kidding? Now it has to be double manufactured? That's ridiculous. Okay. I'll go set up a crafting pattern for this and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got... If you hold shift you can see these. Quick tip, you can shift right click to clear a pattern. And now we have the two recipes to make this silicon. And now if we come over to here and always extract, insert on brown, and then up, extract on brown and insert, no, don't want that. Don't want this to insert. Or do we? We're gonna want these, won't we? Yeah, we're gonna want these. So I'm gonna have to set up individual crafting recipes for them all. Also, these boots apparently absorb fall damage, which is nice. Run these down here. You can, gonna be insert on brown. And let's go over to here and request silicon. Let's say 10, so that we'll be able to see its process. So if we come over to here, we can see sand getting manufactured, and we can see going back in there. So now as soon as that's cleared out, yep, and now it goes through and it's making the silicon. That works. Not pretty, but it works. Now I'm pretty sure eventually we'll be able to just like sag mill this from sand right here. Sand, you get 100, oh, only a 50% chance of silicon. I mean, that's better than nothing though. And then clay is 80, and from redstone it's an 80. But I'm gonna put these in here, and if, as you can see, we now have 27. And I'm gonna just make gold. I need, it doesn't know what to do with these, so right now it's just an empty item. So I'm going to, oops, just go craft a bunch of processors, because that seems to be the one that we use the most. Darn. One side effect is, you know, this can be on green. You can also right click to go in the reverse direction of your left click. What I just did is I made it so that these printed silicon can be inserted into the bottom from the chest. Because they have a filter on it, there's no need to do the weird channel business. And actually, other than these presses, there's no need for any filters with Ender.io item conduits, because they can all just have their own separate channel. Like, blue is only for processors, and brown is only for silicon, and, well, you're gonna have to have one for redstone. Well, I mean, you don't have to, but it'd probably be best if you did. But this means that now we have... I think the next thing that I'm gonna do is upgrade the mob farm with storage drawers, because I'm constantly having to go over there to... what am I thinking? To clean it out. So I'm going to make a bunch of those and drawer. There, now we have 27 storage drawers, more than we'll ever need. And Does a drawer controller cost too much? And there's a drawer controller. Oh, yeah, I just realized I'm gonna have to break these chests to do what I have in mind. Oh well, mob drops are a renewable resource, right? Take this, and here. Now, wrong direction. And there are zombie brains in there already. Now, I'm gonna use this to place blocks. Now, the biggest problem is going to be getting rid of armor and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to set up an item conduit into a trash can from that hopper so that anything that doesn't go into here gets avoided. No, not everything, but a lot of things. It would, wouldn't it? It would drain items out of this drawer controller and try to put it into this chest. I mean, I'm okay with that, but I just don't really want that. So next I'm gonna do blaze rods and bones, because why not? If you didn't know, trim acts like a storage drawer, but it doesn't store anything. So it lets you do this, and this is still connected to there. Now, well, sulfur, not sulfur. Now I saw I had some other drawers in here that I can grab, and don't know what the difference between those two. Oh, interesting. So I'm gonna do this and put glowstone and sticks and glass bottle and redstone, and I'm gonna continue that out another block, I think, and then I'll put mob heads here. Fill the inventory back up. Come over here and sugar, of course. Well, that means that redstone is going to need something else. Now I need to go get a trash can from Extra Utilities because they have a item filter that respects metadata. So trash can, this one right here. Take this, and a filter from Extra Utilities. I always get that wrong. And I need sticks. Oh. Come on, JEI. How do you not know how to make sticks? And I feel like I'm gonna need at least 3 of these. So this one is gonna be the master. Actually, I'm gonna name it master. I know which is what. So take it and name it master. I'm gonna make it with a capital M. Master. And then this one's going to be called Armor 1. Let's start with that because, oh, and then this one will be called Weapons 1. So basically, this is actually the first time I've made one this way. The reason I named them is because once you put them into a trash can, they're all named the same and you can never tell which one is what. So we're going to take the master. The master is actually not needed yet. But first of all, I need to clean up my inventory. Be right back. Okay, my inventory is cleaner. I expanded this out a little bit. And now we're going to take our armor set. in the item conduit. And you can right click on these and it will change the mode. Like now it's insert and up, extract always active. No way. Shoot. The cave illuminator does such a good job that it takes... Did it illuminate up here? My question. Yep, it illuminated up here. And the only way to get rid of these, by the way, is to put a block in them. Come over here, Mr. Zombie. Gonna have to go take care of that cave illuminator and just make the illumination wand. Because the illumination wand makes those little light flares. Don't throw fire at me. I like being not burned. Pop, pop, pop. And... whoa! Oops. Go over here and just flame break it. It was nice while it lasted. By the way, to make the illumination wand, you need a tier 2 astral sorcery altar. So that's not going to be for a little bit. And then break that. Come down here. Oh, there's cobblestone. Where in the world did that come from? Should be able to shift right click on these. Yeah, shift right click. I wonder why that wasn't working. But now we can just leave this, and these right here, all of those, if they come into this hopper, should go first to this trash can, and then anything extra will end up here, or in this hopper, or in the hopper behind it. Okay? Also, this experience pylon is doing a great job. Also, I forgot about ender pearls. There we go. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to automate today is AE2. So, I'm not sure if this is entirely accurate, but AE2 needs ejector upgrades to output automatically. Uh-oh. Oops. Block of 10. So I'm gonna take these and cut them up. Okay, so I got the injector upgrades, and I'm just gonna pop one in each. Don't need 5. And this is ore processing, so it doesn't need an ejector upgrade. Really, it's probably gonna piggyback off of someone else's interface. Oh yeah. You need at least two metal formers, because you can't change these that I know of automatically. Where is my wrench? Right here. It's electric wrench. Also, I got a mining laser. I have time-lapse footage of me using it down there. Probably already seen it. But I'm gonna take the induction furnace, put it right here, put it always on. I don't have any more ultimate universal cable. And then really the biggest use for these mechanism cables, you don't want to touch those, they hurt. The biggest use for mechanism cables is actually AE2. I'll take you, just plop you in here. And now I need my shovel. Where's my shovel? My shovel in here? Shovel. How did you end up in there? Oh. And these. Also, interfaces can connect through the same line, I think. Yes. So they can connect through the same line. So all you have to do is have one cable going to all of them, which is very nice. And that, and move this. Grab an ultimate universal cable. Put it right here. Thermal centrifuge. And a lever. And I'll put the atomic reconstructor back here. Button on it. And take out right here. And put in the ME interface. And now I'm gonna have to go get some cables because I used all of mine up. And then we'll get some fairly basic recipes, like, let's see, let's teach it that 1 sand equals 1 glass. Like that. And then we're gonna go over to here and search up induction furnace. And now we're going to craft a lot. I don't know if any of you caught that, but I needed to put an ejector upgrade in here. But that's all the time I have for today. Thanks for watching. Bye.